Lisa. You may have noticed a little different intro to the video. I am experimenting with some software that will allow me to capture things on my computer screen because I want to show you something in the Silhouette software. And I've done this before, but the application I used then, I had some volume issues and some other things that weren't really that great. So I'm trying a little bit nicer software on a trial version, and it has lots of other features. So I thought I would put some of those in the video. Let me know what you think. If something is too much or it's distracting or whatever, please tell me because I'm just getting an idea whether I'm going to like using this particular application. It's kind of expensive too, so I need to figure out if it's the best choice for what I want to do. But anyway, today's page is this little cutie, and we want to talk about dancing. She loves to dance, and that's going to be part of our title. The photo of her is pretty simple in terms of color because we have this white and beige background. She's in a solid pink dress and a solid turquoise sweater. So this is a perfect photo to put on pattern paper, on really busy pattern paper, because it's still going to stand out. The papers that I want to use are from Basic Gray. I was using these the other day, but I'm going to use a lot more of them. This is from the Vivienne collection, and then the rest are J'adore. So we have some with hearts, and we've got stripes, and this pretty little flower on there. And there's there's the big flower. So we can use a lot of these papers, and they go really well color-wise with my photos. So those are what I want to use for my strips of paper here in the background. I'm also going to do quite a bit of work with the title, and that's where I want to get into using the Silhouette. And we may do a die cut for this design here. I've been meaning to look to see if there's something about dancing that I can work in to this. But I also pulled out some thickers. I like to a lot of times do a mix of thickers and die cuts, especially for a really long title. So sometimes I die cut the whole thing, and that's another option. But I think this time we're going to mix and use some letters to make a certain word stand out quite a bit. So that's where we want to go with this. I'm going to use a neutral background because I've got a lot of color here. So I had a piece of white cardstock laying around here somewhere, but I will find a neutral background. I actually might use a light pink. Let's see. Maybe we could make one of the pinks work. I don't have any of that, I don't think. Oh, that would be so pretty. That Blush Blossom is an old color from Stampin' Up, and I don't think I have any of that in 12 by 12, but I will look. I do have Blushing Bride and Pink Pirouette, so those would make maybe some pretty colors here too. So let me pull out some cardstock and get going on cutting some strips. These paper strips on this sketch are anywhere from like a ½ inch up to maybe 1.5 inches or something. So I'm just going to cut a whole bunch of strips, and we're going to lay those out for our background. So I cut out a bunch of strips that all just very different widths. I didn't measure them, I just took in the paper trimmer and just cut strips. And I have them laid out here not in a particular order, but just as I took them off the paper trimmer, sort of to kind of see if I had enough. That was all I was really interested in. I do think though I may like the lighter pink color, so when I glue them down I'm just going to go ahead and put them on the light pink background. Sorting out my thickers, I know I'm going to do a couple of words in thickers, and the pinks, we got enough pink. So we're going to use that blue-green color and a brighter green color. Just picking out a few letters here. These green ones are Basic Gray letters, and I love these because they come with so many letters, but they are a little bit larger, so I don't always have a good layout to put them on. I think they'll work out really well here. So when I lay my strips out, I know that music needs to be more on the pinks, and dance needs to be on, it could be in pretty much anything, but not too busy. So I'll just kind of keep that in mind as I'm laying out the strips. One of the easiest ways to attach them is to put the tape runner the opposite direction of the way the strips are going to go. So I'm just going to cut these off by hand. Some of them have some stripes and things on them that'll make them easier to cut straight. And otherwise, I'm just not going to worry about it too much. And my fingers kept sticking to the paper. I tried at one point to glue it down with some or stick it down with some washi tape, and that doesn't work either because there it is. It's just moving too much. But I just have to be a little more careful as I handle the paper. I just mix the patterns and colors. And I'm kind of using the grid lines on my mat to make sure they're fairly straight. Now I have all my strips on there, and I'm leaving a little extra space at the top as the sketch shows, just sort of for balance. And kind of getting an idea of where these other letters are going to go. Now I'm going to be cutting some words on the silhouette, and I've picked out a couple of cardstocks for those. And I'm going to show you a way on the silhouette to make letters that are not welded together, just individual letters, be easier to place on your page. And that's what we're going to do with that green Pear Possess cardstock up there at the top. And that'll be Loves, and the other one will be Loves too. Okay, I'm in the Silhouette software, and I'm just going to go to my text tool and type in Loves in lowercase. And I think I want to change the font here over to just a nice block font, sans serif font called Franklin Gothic Medium. You could do this with any font that comes out sort of even along the bottom. I'm going to select the letters and make them a little bit larger. Okay. Now I want to do something that will connect them together and make it really easy to put them into my scrapbook page. So I'm going to go to the rectangle tool, choose that, and draw a rectangle that will connect all the letters together. Now let's zoom in a little bit here so that you can see this really well, and I can see it really well, because I want to be able to make sure that my letters are just touching this rectangle on the bottom. I'm going to select both the word and the rectangle, and then use the weld tool down at the bottom of the screen. When I click on that, it puts everything together in one image. So now when I cut this out, it'll be one thing that I just have to hang on to, and it'll make sure everything is neatly lined up on my page. And I'll show you how to hide that rectangle. So I'm laying out my letters, and I already have Loves to laid out there. I'm going to take Loves that we cut on the silhouette, and it's now all one piece. And then I'm going to tuck it behind one of the strips, and it's the strips that will cover up the little bar that we added to make all the letters hang together. So just kind of arranging everything, and I'm going to need to pull the strips up just a little bit from their adhesive, and then slipped the word Loves down in there. So I'm using my Zig glue pen. And then I'll just slide this in behind the paper. Here we go. And then that's a really easy way to glue 5 letters on. Okay. So now I've got to glue the rest of these letters on. And Loves to I will also use the Zig marker for. This particular chipboard also had a little heart that I think will be cute to put somewhere on the page. I'm just fiddling around with placement, kind of deciding exactly where I want those letters to go. And I'll glue those off camera, the chipboard ones, with Tombow adhesive. Now I wanted to do some flowers, and I looked at doing like punching them out with scallop punches. So you're first going to see my efforts that didn't work, and then I'll show you what did work. I'm using 3 different sizes of scallop punches from Stampin' Up! To punch out music print. This was, I think, from church music that I picked up at a resale shop. And so I'm not really interested in the words so much as just having musical notes. But those kind of all blend together, so I decided to try putting some paper between them, and I'm using my, what are they called? I want to say close to my heart, but that's not it. Creative Memories cutters to cut the a circle out and kind of put some layers between. That would make them show up more, but I think there's probably a better way. And I remember that you know, you can make some flowers with the scallop punch. using, there's some method and I couldn't remember how it was. So I went to YouTube and I looked up the videos and I found one, and I cannot remember the name right now. I looked it up this morning when I was doing this and I can't recall, but I will put it on the screen and I'll leave you a link to her video, and I'm going to show you how I do it. It's a little bit different. I modified her method a little bit, but her method works perfectly fine. I just did mine a little bit differently. And what we're doing is taking some book paper and the large scallop punch. This is the 2 3/8, I think, size from Stamping Up. We're going to fold the scallop in half so that we can find the center by just trimming down to the center. Now, she did a lot more folding before you did the trimming, but I'm going to go ahead and then just fold each of those little sections in like a little accordions. And this has nothing to do with my software. This is me and the video camera. I got my hand a little bit too low in the viewing area, but you'll still see me folding up the scallops. And then I will just glue these 3 sections onto a piece of cardstock. Go ahead and use that one I cut a while ago. And it's like making an accordion flower, but when you make an accordion flower the traditional way, you use long strips, and I don't have music paper that's really long, so this is a good way to use my music paper and still get the music notes on there. And what I'm going to put in the center, a lot of times I do brads, but in this case I'm going to do buttons, because I think those are cute for children's pages, and I have these really pretty shiny, fun, glittery like buttons that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. And we'll glue those on to our page. To go with my flower, I did some little flourishes. I kind of like doing that sometimes instead of leaves, and I think it works well with this movement sort of thing. I didn't cut any to go up here because I have some other elements. I have this heart still that I haven't put on the page, so I could put it, you know, with the picture. I think that would be cute. Or I could put it down here. I kind of like it down there, the flourish. And then I have these that are cute. Little cutouts. I like maybe doing one there. But I really wanted to work in some of these hearts, especially since they were just the right color. And they were just little fun things. I wish I put one there. I don't. I could do, no, that's where it takes away down here. I think we're just going to put it right up here with her. I don't know. Ooh, boy. When those things stick, they stick, so I need to be sure I know where I want to put them. I may not be able to make these work. I don't know. Just kind of leave that for now. So I'll put that in there and put another one of these musical notes in there. Do I want some on that? I feel like I need them in 3 places. Yeah, I like it there better. That next to her picture. So kind of like that. I just don't know about the little heart. Let's just put one. It needs to go somewhere. Put it there. Okay, so here's our page all finished, and we can see our sketch. I didn't end up using any washi down here, and I moved the journaling over a little bit because I had quite a bit of space over here, and I had a paper that I had left some of the white showing, so I kind of wanted to cover that up. But I really like these rosettes made out of book paper. The strips give tons of color and pattern to the page. Oh, I actually have to glue some of these last few things down. I'll glue the little musical notes down as well. So anyway, that finishes off our page. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments about how the video was done using the new software, I'd like to hear them. I'm still working with it, so I probably didn't do things as well as I could have, but I like it so far. I just haven't decided for sure if it's the right program for me. But anyway, I'll be interested in your feedback. Thanks. Bye-bye.